Recognition. I remember sitting in a bathroom after another relapse. Not the first time, hell, not even close. And I remember thinking, there is no way out of this. Not angry, not dramatic, just defeated. That was the moment something shifted. Up until then, it was behavior. After that, it felt like this is my life. At first, relapse feels like a mistake. You tell yourself, how did I end up here again? But after enough repetition, the language shifts. You stop saying, man, again, really? And you start thinking, I guess this is my life. That shift doesn't happen loudly, it happens slowly, quietly. And once that thought settles in, the fight feels different, way different, because behavior can be corrected. The Bible defines this as sin, but identity feels permanent. That's what you call iniquity. Stage two, erosion. Addiction doesn't just train habits, it trains language, and language becomes a philosophy, which then becomes a belief, then an attitude, and last but not least, destiny. I remember how my internal sentences changed. I messed up became, I always do this. Then, I'll probably fail again. And eventually, this is just me. That wasn't humility. That was erosion. Scripture describes it profoundly this way. Proverbs 23:7. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Belief became my structure. Repetition trained my belief. Shame trained the narrative. And the narrative became my reality. You'll be back. This won't last. Stop pretending you're a loser. After relief came shame. After shame came confirmation. And confirmation strengthened my identity. The bathroom wasn't the worst part. The worst part was believing there was no way out. That sentence felt final, but it wasn't the truth. Because, although I was being honest with myself, the truth was not yet in my reach. It was repetition, speaking louder than hope. Stage 3. Reclaiming. Here is what I eventually had to learn, not through family or friends or rehab, but God. I am not my worst repetition. I am not my relapse. I am not my lowest moment. I will not be defined by who I was, but by what God said I could become. I had to learn how to turn my pain into power, and that would open up my purpose. Patterns are trained, identity is chosen. In John 9 1 to 3, NIV, when the disciples asked if a man's lifelong blindness was caused by his or his parents' sin, Jesus replied, neither this man nor his parents sinned, but this happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him. This event clearly reveals a purpose that lies hidden within your problems, but there has to be a renewing process, not denial, but in truth, not in honesty or opinion, but truth. It is a replacement, physically, mentally, emotionally, and most importantly, spiritually. It is also refusing to let failure rename you. The moment I realized this is not who I am and started believing this is how I was trained, something shifted, not instantly, but structurally, because what is trained can be retrained. Addiction says this is you. Truth says this is a pattern. Romans 12 2 to 3, NIV says it like this: do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, and patterns can change. In my next episode, we confront the final chain, hopelessness, when the lie becomes, why even try? And that question is where everything turns.